session and I can be done in 10 minutes. Or you could, not participate fully in this, and you can miss out a lot. Okay. So again, I request each one of you guys to switch on your video, and let's see. I'm going to start the PowerPoint. Bilal, you will keep adding people, right?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'll handle that. Going on.
Okay. Okay, and make sure whoever joins us stays on mute, so that there is not a lot of echo.
Perfect.
Okay, this was the request I had for each one of you guys to switch on your videos. I hope you guys can do that. So it's almost 6:10 p.m. So we're gonna get started. Let's see. So the topic is, so the topic is USMLE and observership in USA. So disclaimer, this talk is not focused towards leaving your homeland. I have huge respect for all the doctors serving in Pakistan. The point is we should always aim for professional excellence, and we should always focus towards giving back to our home country. A little bit about me: I graduated from King Edward in 2009. I was a postdoctoral research fellow at Stanford University from 2011 to 2013. Then I did my general surgery internship at Yale University Waterbury Hospital. I did my diagnostic radiology residency at Geisinger Medical Center. I did a fellowship in vascular and interventional radiology at Geisinger, graduated in 2019. Then I worked for 2 years at UPMC Susquehanna. I became vice chairman of interventional radiology at UPMC Susquehanna for 2 years after that. Along with that, I also did an MBA from Arizona State University with majors in leadership, entrepreneurship, and additional focus towards AI, machine learning, and finance. While listen to me, so I launched Medidia.com in 2008. I have been guiding, helping, and mentoring IMGs since then. It's been 15 years now. I have a YouTube channel. This is an own presentation. I had 2K subscribers. Right now I think I have 6.6K, so 6,600 subscribers on this YouTube channel. I would ask you guys to write down the name of this YouTube channel and website, because there are a lot of resources that are available. Let's see. Can you mute whoever is not on mute? Bilal?
Yeah, perfect. I'll do that.
Thank you. Okay. So coming back, I have this YouTube channel where I have more than 200 educational videos regarding USMLE Steps America. I am the administrator, moderator of King Edward USMLE Group, which has more than 14K subscribers, members. I was the co-chair of YPC UPNA between 2015 and 2016. For the past 3 years, I'm a member of Young Physicians Committee of UPNA. I was co-chair of YPC of Gymkhana from 2014 and 2015. And for the past 2 years, I've been the chair of YPC Young Physicians Committee of Gymkhana. So I've published 12 research papers, presented 40 presentations, posters, wrote a book chapter, reviewed 35 research papers for BMJ, Lancet, MGM, and Annals of Internal Medicine. I am the youngest recipient of Distinguished Service Award by Gymkhana, and I've been awarded multiple times for research, first position for best post presentation on Yale Research Day, multiple additional awards, second position at Geisinger Research Day 2015, third on Geisinger Research Day 2018, first position on Geisinger Research Day 2019. And I'm the only person in the history of state of Pennsylvania to be awarded Best Research Award in the entire state every year, 3 years in a row from 2015 to 2017. This is an annual competition between all specialties among all residents and fellows. So that was a big deal. And in 2018, I was awarded this RSNA Radiological Society of North America Resident Fellow Research Award. So why am I sharing all this with you guys? The reason I'm sharing all this with you guys is because I feel access to procreate and accurate guidance is key to success. So more importantly, early access. अगर आप लोगों को इस वक्त सेकेंड ईयर में, थर्ड ईयर में इन चीज़ों का पता है कि क्या चीज़ें इंपॉर्टेंट है, किन चीज़ों पे फोकस करना है, तो you can start better, you can plan better, and you can execute them better. On my channel, there are interviews of people who completed their USMLE exams before graduating from MBBS. Within 6 months, they were able to start residency in competitive specialties. So you can listen to an interview of my cousin, Dr. Hassan Nadeem Malik, a very good friend, Dr. Yasmin Mutwaja. These are the people who took USMLE exams during MBBS. They were able to apply for residency within 6 months of graduation, and they were able to start residency within a year of graduating from med school. So very important. Please take notes. आप अपने phone पे notes लेना चाहते हैं, phone पे ले लीजिए. If you have a pen and paper, please use that pen and paper to take notes. We have a lot to cover, and there is a lot to go over. In an interest of time, I'll go fast. Write down your questions. At the end, we will have a Q&A session. And like I told you guys, for more details, please check out my YouTube channel and my website. सबसे पहले, I'll talk about professionalism. Don't simply hear, please listen. The difference is, जब आप किसी की बात को समझ नहीं रहे, सिर्फ सुन रहे हो, तो वो हम hearing it, and when you're focusing on what the other person is saying and engaging into a deep thought process, then that's listening. Always be punctual. Show up 5 to 10 minutes early for every presentation, not 5 to 10 minutes late. I know I come from Pakistan too. 6 बजे का मतलब होता है कि 6:15 तक आप आ जाओ, 6:30 तक आ जाओ. नहीं, 6 बजे का मतलब है कि आप 5:45 बजे पहुंचिए. Respect the deadlines. अगर आपको कोई भी deadline किसी project के लिए, किसी काम के लिए दी जाती है, तो always complete the projects and assignments before deadline. Address everyone as Mr., Miss, Mrs., Doctor, last name. So very important, if I'm Umar Tariq, so I should be Dr. Tariq. If US में बहुत से लोगों को electives, observerships इसलिए नहीं मिलते क्योंकि जब आप email लिखते हो, you write down Mr., Miss, Mrs., first name. No, it should always be last name. I know Pakistan में हम doctor first name कहते हैं, but it actually looks very, very bad. It's almost like आप अपने professor को first name से बुला रहे हो, उस तरह लगता है. तो बहुत rude है. Everybody should be doctor last name. This is something you need to learn to communicate with US attendings. Even if somebody is your friend, don't address them publicly at workplace as bhai, baji, whatever. Maintain strict professionalism at all times. Now, we will talk about electives, residency, and fellowship. These are some of the pointers we will be hitting. So we'll start with how to prepare as a better medical students for training in US. So how to better prepare as a medical student for training in US. Somebody like Bilal, who's a second-year medical student, who doesn't know what he can do, the first thing you can do is decide your specialty ASAP. Read Kaplan books while you're studying for MBBS. Like I said before, my YouTube channel, there are detailed guidance on USMLE Step 1 exam. There is also detailed guidance on my website. But somebody made a video last year, he scored 268. And there's one more person who scored 270 on how they studied for Step 1. Please listen to those videos, watch them. Try to take Step 1, which is pass-fail only now during MBBS, and preferably CK. Step 1 में जो आपके subjects होते हैं वो anatomy, physiology, pathology, pharmacology के होते हैं. So you can take that anywhere between third to final year. I would recommend fourth year कैंट पे दे दो. Depending on pathology or pharmacology कब पढ़ रहे हो. हम लोगों के टाइम में pharma जो थी वो third year में होती थी, and pathology was fourth year. So you can take it anytime in fourth year or early final year. And CK should be taken at the end of final year or after graduation. But I know people who have done both. At least try to take Step 1 during MBBS. Like I told you before, Dr. Ayaz Khwaja, I have an interview of him. He published 2 research papers to both USMLE exams in last 2 years of med school. These were his scores at that time. Dr. Furqan Ahmed, he prepared videos on USMLE steps on my YouTube channel. His scores were 268 and 269. So inko sun lo. Next, we will come to electives in USML, electives in USA. So what are electives? More importantly, what is US clinical experience? So these are some misleading terms. Electives का मतलब सिर्फ वही होता है जो आप ward rotations करते हो पाकिस्तान में. Now, these could be observership, these could be electives, these could be externships, these could be sub-I. तो ये इन टर्म्स का डिफरेंस समझना बहुत जरूरी है. जो आप काम कर रहे हो देयर इज जो वार्ड्स में जाके अपने हॉस्पिटल में, तो दोज आर इंट्राम्यूरल इलेक्टिव्स. वो इलेक्टिव्स हैं जो आप अपने होम इंस्टीट्यूशन में कर रहे हो. जब आप उठ के लेट्स से आप में से कोई भी बंदा उठ के मेयो हॉस्पिटल में या जिना हॉस्पिटल में काम करता है, दोज आर एक्स्ट्राम्यूरल इलेक्टिव्स कि आप अपने होम इंस्टीट्यूशन से निकल के बाहर जाके इलेक्टिव्स कर रहे हैं. तो जो एक्स्ट्रा म्यूरल इलेक्टिव्स हैं यूएसए में करने के लिए, वो उसका प्रोसेस आप 1 साल पहले शुरू करते हैं. आप अप्लाई करते हैं. आई वुड रिकमेंड यू टू डिसाइड योर स्पेशलिटी ASAP. You can only do electives before you graduate. So I typically recommend you guys to start in third year. Once you have done your first and second year in your summer vacations, you should go to US and try to do electives. What are electives? Electives are simply medical rotations. वो आप मेडिसिन में भी कर सकते हो, सर्जरी में भी, रेडियोलॉजी में भी, न्यूरोसर्जरी में, हीमेटोलॉजी, GI, कार्डियोलॉजी, किसी भी चीज में. अगर आप जब आप रेजिडेंसी के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं, a lot of places require you to have 12 weeks of electives or 12 weeks of rotations. So that's why electives are very important. What is the difference between electives and observerships? Electives में आप patients के साथ physical examination उनका कर सकते हो, उनका checkup कर सकते हो. Observership में you cannot touch the patient. You can talk to the patient, but you cannot touch them. So a lot of places do not consider observership as a clinical experience because you are not allowed to touch the patient. So electives is the most ultimate form of US clinical experience. Electives के बाद जो second best clinical experience है, that is externship. Externship is the same as electives, except that now you're not a medical student anymore. You are a doctor from Pakistan. फिर sub internship आ जाती है. Sub internship is like internship, like आपकी house job, लेकिन you are not a resident. तो आप हाउस जॉब वाले सारे आपकी ड्यूटीज हैं अमेरिका में, वो सब इंटर्नशिप होते हैं. तो इन सब में से सब इंटर्नशिप या इलेक्टिव स्टॉप पे आता है. फिर एक्सटर्नशिप आ जाती है जो आप आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन करते हो, और सबसे एंड पे ऑब्जर्वरशिप आती है. सो जो भी आपने करना है, कोशिश कीजिए, decide your specialty ASAP and preferably try to do your electives in your specialty. I told you what are electives. So these are the differences. Electives के बारे में मैं आपको बता चुका हूँ. Observerships, क्लर्कशिप्स क्या होता है? क्लर्कशिप्स वो होती हैं जो आपकी बेसिक रोटेशंस हैं, जो आप मेडिसिन सर्जरी में करते हो थर्ड ईयर में. तो अगर वो मिलना बहुत मुश्किल होती है, उसे कोर क्लर्कशिप्स कहते हैं. तो इसीलिए अक्सर जगह ये रिक्वेस्ट करती हैं कि आप इलेक्टिव्स के लिए ना अप्लाई करिए जब तक आपने अपनी कोर क्लर्कशिप्स पाकिस्तान में नहीं की. सब इंटर्नशिप में आपको बता चुका हूँ. इंटर्नशिप इज अ फैंसी नेम इन यूएसए फॉर फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ रेजिडेंसी. अगर आप मेडिसिन की रेजिडेंसी अप्लाई करते हो, वो 3 साल की है, तो पहले साल में आप इंटर्न कहलाएंगे, आपका एक्सपीरियंस इंटर्नशिप कहलाएगा. पूरे 3 साल को आप रेजिडेंसी कहलाएंगे, और उसके बाद जो आप फेलोशिप करना चाहते हैं, लेट्स से कार्डियोलॉजी, GI, हेमोलॉजी, वो फेलोशिप होगी. Again, these are different roles. Electives जब आप अप्लाई करते हो, आप एज मेडिकल स्टूडेंट अप्लाई करते हो. एज अ मेडिकल स्टूडेंट यू कैन आल्सो बी अ सब-आई. अगर आप वो करते हैं तो आप सब इंटर्नशिप कर रहे हैं. आप what are you called? जब आप ऑब्जर्वरशिप कर रहे हैं तो आप ऑब्जर्वर कहला रहे हैं. फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ रेजिडेंसी में यूर इंटर्न, देन रेजिडेंट, देन फेलो. और जब आप सारी ट्रेनिंग मुकम्मल करके काम कर लेते हैं, लेट्स से मी, then you're called an attending. What is US clinical experience? It's an umbrella term that includes all of these experiences, elective, sub-I, internship. तो इस सब को combine करके US clinical experience कहते हैं. कुछ लोग observership को, जिसमें you're not allowed to touch the patient, कुछ लोग उसे US clinical experience में include नहीं करते. Why does it matter? क्योंकि जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, बहुत से programs हैं जिनकी ये requirement है कि आपका 12 weeks का US clinical experience हो. If you don't have this 12 weeks of US clinical experience, then they won't rank you. आपको interview नहीं आएगा, और अगर interview आ गया तो आपको residency नहीं मिलेगी. Minimum duration of US clinical experience, like I said, is 12 weeks. Now, USMLE exams and their importance. Bilal, can you mute whoever is not on mute? Thank you. So the first step is USMLE step 1. What are the implications? पहले स्कोर होता था, तो उसकी स्कोर की इंपॉर्टेंस होती थी, एंड दैट यूज्ड टू बी द ग्रेडिंग वन. आप स्कोर बेस्ड इंटरव्यूज आते थे. सो नाउ इट हैज बीन चेंज्ड टू पास फेल ओनली. तो इसलिए मेरी रिकमेंडेशन आप सबको यही है कि यू शुड स्टडी ड्यूरिंग मेडिकल स्कूल. You should try to pass it. Then USMLE Step 2 CK, your next exam. Currently, it's the only exam with a 3-digit score. So इसकी importance बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है before ECFMG certification. So बहुत लोग जब match के लिए apply करते हैं, you apply with Step 1, pass fail, Step 2 CK with a 3-digit score, and then an OET exam, which is a test for English. Once you take these three, let's see. Yeah, once you take these 3 exams, then you're called. Yep. जब आप ये तीनों एग्जाम्स दे देते हैं तो आप ECFMG सर्टिफाइड हो जाओगे, ठीक है? तो that process, ECFMG certification, is what's needed for you to apply for residency. अगर आप ECFMG certified नहीं हो तो आप रेजिडेंसी के लिए नहीं अप्लाई कर सकते. तो इनमें से अगर if you pay attention, OET भी pass fail है, Step 1 भी pass fail है. Mainly, it's just Step 2 CK, which has a 3-digit score. So when program directors are applying, are reviewing your application, this is the only exam that they can use as a tool to decide कि ये बंदा कैसा है, 220 or 260 में, वो of course 260 वाले को prefer करेंगे. Then there is a Step 3. Step 3 can be taken in first 2 years of residency, but लेकिन अगर आपको H1 visa चाहिए, which is the visa जिसमें आपको green card मिल जाता है 1-2 साल में after residency, or if you're an old graduate, or if you're applying for a competitive specialty, जिनको अमूमन roads कहते हैं, radiology, ophthalmology, anesthesia, dermatology, or surgical specialties, then you should take Step 3 ASAP. Ideally, अगर आपके पास time हो तो मेरा आपको मशवरा यही है कि Step 3 भी आप सितंबर अक्टूबर तक खत्म करते हैं मैच को अप्लाई करने के लिए. इंटरेस्टिंग बात ये कि जो तैयारी है Step 2 CK की और Step 3 की वो बिल्कुल सेम है. तो बहुत लोग ये करते हैं कि वो Step 1 देते हैं, OET देते हैं, फिर CK देते हैं, फिर उस ECFMG सर्टिफिकेशन लेते हैं और within a month they apply for Step 3 or take a Step 3. अच्छा जी, residency application process. I don't know if you have any residents here. It seems mostly there are students, but I will briefly touch upon that. आपने जब रेजिडेंसी के लिए अप्लाई करना है तो यू नीड 3 लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशंस प्रेफरेबली फ्रॉम यूएस अटेंडिंग्स. उसमें आपका जो एक्सपीरियंस है एज इलेक्टिव्स इट रियली हेल्प्स, बिकॉज अगर आपने 12 वीक्स काम किया तो आपको 3-3, 4-4 हफ्ते जिसके साथ आपने काम किया आप उनसे लेटर्स ले सकते हो. यू नीड टू फिगर आउट हाउ टू प्रिपेयर अ गुड सीवी. उस पे अगेन आई हैव वीडियोस ऑन माय चैनल मेडिया पे, so I would recommend you to watch those videos. How to write a good personal statement. Again, I have videos on those, so I'll suggest you to do that. Picking programs to apply, what I would suggest is you should email programs in July, August, and share your credentials, your USMLE scores, your US clinical experience, and ask them if they consider or if they accept or interview IMGs, or if they do, तो इस course के साथ जो आपके हों और डू द स्पॉन्सर वीजा. फिर आपको रेजिडेंसी इंटरव्यू की तैयारी करनी. उसके लिए भी अगेन आई हैव मोर देन 20 residency mock interviews on my channel. You can watch them. There are some guidance tips on how to do those. Pre and post interview communication. Before interview, you need to tell the program that you're very interested in that program. Post interview communication, that you need to tell them that you had a good time, you like the area, you like the program. So all these stuff has their own importance. Number one reason for good applicants to go unmatched is poor communication skills, poor English. और सबसे बड़ी रीजन जो मेरे ख्याल है पाकिस्तानी एप्लीकेंट्स को इंटरव्यूज नहीं आती वो ये है कि they have a lot of spelling, grammatical and punctuation errors and CV, personal statement and written communication. उसके लिए ये किताब जो है I very strongly recommend each one of you guys. The Elements of Style by William Strunk Jr. This is a book that's used by high school students in America to improve their writing skills. So I would very highly recommend you guys to get this book. फिर इसके बाद आप आते हैं रैंकिंग के लिए. रैंकिंग के लिए डिफरेंट मेट्रिक्स होते हैं, डिफरेंट लोग डिफरेंट तरीके से करते हैं. कुछ लोगों के लिए वीजा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है तो वो H1 प्रोग्राम्स को ऊपर रैंक करते हैं. J1 वाले में आपको 3 साल का वेवर करना पड़ता है, फिर आपको ग्रीन कार्ड मिलते होते 5-6 साल लग जाते हैं आफ्टर यू बिकम एन अटेंडिंग, वेयर H1 में 1-2 साल में मिल जाता है. तो बहुत से लोग जो है वो H1 वर्सेस J1, H1 को ऊपर रैंक करते हैं। फिर यूनिवर्सिटी प्रोग्राम वर्सेस कम्युनिटी प्रोग्राम, अगर इफ देयर इज एन एफिलिएटेड यूनिवर्सिटी उसको ऊपर रैंक करते हैं, क्या इन हाउस फेलोशिप्स हैं कि नहीं है, क्या ये प्रोग्राम अपने ग्रेजुएट्स को, रेजिडेंसी ग्रेजुएट्स को फेलोशिप देता है कि नहीं, हायर सक्सेस रेट, वीजा आई ऑलरेडी टॉक्ड अबाउट, एंड जियोग्राफिकल टाइज, इफ यू हैव फैमिली इन न्यूयॉर्क यू वांट टू बी इन न्यूयॉर्क। कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग इज अनदर वन कि कुछ लोग, this was a factor for me, if you have a family you want to be in an area with cheaper cost of living and location safety, especially females, they don't want to go to a place which is relatively unsafe. Now the special situations I briefly talked about: comparative specialty, roads, radiology, ophthalmology, dermatology, anesthesiology, and surgical specialty. Inke liye research track is recommended that you do 2 to 3 years of research and then you apply in these specialties, because they're comparative specialties. And then mostly surgical specialties like neurosurgery, general surgery, orthopedic surgery, ENT. Usme, it's recommended that you do 1 year internship, which we call prelim surgery, and then apply for these competitive specialty. And then there is the pathway of double training. What is double training? Let's say you want to get into radiology. A lot of people do internal medicine residency and then apply for radiology. Alternate pathway is something that is becoming more and more common कि आपने पाकिस्तान में FCPS किया है मेडिसिन में या सर्जरी में और आप फेलोशिप करने के लिए यूएसए में आ रहे हो, तो मतलब उसकी अपनी implications होती हैं. You cannot work independently, you have to be in a teaching hospital, but overall I recommend कि if you are a student or an applicant or a younger graduate who has graduated within 5 years, I recommend you do pathways. If you have been in Pakistan for a long time and you have done FCPS, then I recommend you this pathway. How to match as an older graduate? I'm going to briefly talk about some special situations. As an older graduate, it's very important for you to have good scores. You need to have good letters, and you should have long-term research. When I say long-term research, I mean 2 years or more, which is supplemented by multiple publications. अगर आपने 2 साल research की और कोई publication नहीं है, कोई poster नहीं है, then it's pointless. So long-term research needs to be supplemented with publications and poster presentations. How to match as an applicant with poor scores or failed exam? Again, good CV, personal statement, good letters, and very important long-term research supplemented by posters and presentations. How to match in a highly competitive specialty? इसमें मैं आपको बता चुका हूँ कि 2 pathway हैं कि या तो आप alternate pathway करिए या आप competitive specialty में जाने के लिए double training करें, पहले medicine में करें, या आप long-term research करें जिस तरह मैंने की थी स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में 3 साल, which was supplemented by multiple publications. So that's the pathway for a competitive specialty. Why can you go unmatched? Last year तकरीबन 800 applicants ने apply किया था और उनमें से 585 जो थे, 585 उनका मैच हुआ था, तो तकरीबन 300 अनमैच किए थे, तो और 250 200-250 उसमें सबसे बड़ी रीजन है कि जी आपके स्कोर्स कम है सीके में और you failed an exam. But more importantly, you had low scores on an attempt without long-term research, without supplementing it or fixing it with research and publications. Poor communication skills, of course, I touched about it. Aapki English kamzor thi. There were mistakes in your CV and personal statement. Your interview skills were bad. You did not appear confident. You were mumbling. Your interview setup wasn't good. Camera positioning, light positioning. These things. Poor planning of match is another big one. You applied to very few programs and then you did not spend enough time selecting programs. आपने अपनी application सिर्फ हार्वर्ड और हॉपकिंस में डाली जो कि IMGs को accept ही नहीं कर रहे. There is a rule of 1/3 which says that you should apply to 1/3 of the programs जहाँ पे आपकी CV जैसे लोग, आपके scores जैसे लोग मैच होते हैं. 1/3 वो जो आपसे ऊपर के लोग वहाँ मैच होते हैं और 1/3 जहाँ पे आप कहोगे कि नहीं मेरे से बहुत नीचे वाले लोग इन प्रोग्राम्स में मैच होते हैं. So if you're applying for 150 programs, 50 should be according to your CV and scores. 50 should be your dream programs where you think that people above your credentials match. 50 should be more like a backup. कि आपको कि अगर हमारा कुछ नहीं बनेगा तो ये तो हमें रख ही देंगे. Then there is another mistake that you don't interview at all the programs you got the interview from. आपको जितने interview आए कोशिश करिए सारों में जाइए. Not ranking all the programs is another big mistake. No matter whatever happens, आप तमाम प्रोग्राम्स जहाँ पे आपने इंटरव्यू किया उन सबको रैंक करिए. And then not being proactive for SOAP. SOAP is the post-match scramble. What does that mean? It's supplemental offer acceptance program. अगर आपका मैच नहीं होता तो आपको SOAP में जाना पड़ता है. Now I would recommend each and every one के बाद में जब soap का time आता है, you have only few days to figure out what soap is and how to do so. So as soon as you're done with your residency interviews, I recommend you guys to always hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. So once you're done with your residency interviews, be proactive for soap, learn out the process, see how to go for soap, what is the strategy, and then when you're ready for soap, there's a lot of high success rate for people who are proactive at soap. They know before going into soap कि soap क्या है और soap में कैसे खेलना है, क्या करना है, and then they are able to match in soap, which only takes 3 days. So कहाँ आपने इतने सालों की मेहनत की, US Assembly steps की, residency interviews और इन सारे process की, और ये जो 3 दिन थे इसमें आपने सही मेहनत नहीं की, तो आपका soap में match या unmatch हो जाएगा. Why can you go unmatched again? No US clinical experience अगर आपने electives नहीं किए, अगर आपके year of graduation is more than 5 years and you did not supplement it with good scores or research, no research experience at all can keep you from getting matched. Now, a lot of people every year match without any research experience, but no research experience can keep you from getting matched, especially if you had low scores, if your year of graduation was more than 5 years, and if you're applying in a very competitive specialty. Visa is another thing, especially again, if you have low scores, year of graduation is more than 5 years, or you're applying in a competitive specialty, then sometimes people marry a US citizen, get a green card, and then apply, and they're able to get matched. So visa जब आपको program ने sponsor करना है, तो number 1 पे जो मुश्किल होता है वो H1 होता है, फिर J1 होता है, और फिर end पे जो competitiveness में आता है, फिर green card जो है, there are certain programs that don't sponsor any visa. तो वहाँ पे US citizens और green card holders को preference मिलती है. So for those of you who have a green card or a US citizenship, you can apply to those programs क्योंकि आपके साथ जो लोग हैं जिनको H1 या J1 visa चाहिए, they can't apply. A couple matches and can also keep you on going from getting matched, especially अगर आप मियाँ बीवी हो और आप मैच में अप्लाई कर रहे हो, that's what we call couple match. उसमें से एक बंदे के scores अच्छे नहीं है या CV अच्छी नहीं है, तो couple match can really prevent you from getting matched. And lack of humility, अगर आप सबसे बड़ी रीजन मेरे साथ ये होती है कि जब when somebody goes unmatched and they go unmatched again next year, that is lack of humility. When I'm telling them that you didn't match for a certain reason, आपके scores कम थे, आपकी English नहीं सही, आपकी spoken English नहीं सही, आपकी CV और personal statement में बहुत सारे errors हैं, they start creating these ego satisfying excuses. So it's very important कि जब आपको कोई बता रहा है कि आपके CV में या application में कोई गलती है, तो you should acknowledge it. The first step towards improving is acknowledging that there is something that needs to be fixed. So please be humble. If you reach out to someone for guidance, don't make it tough for them to give you accurate guidance. Please listen to them and have humility at all times. Like I said, I have all this stuff on my YouTube channel, Medidia, and a lot of stuff is on my website as well. The website stuff might be a little dated because I've been busy. I haven't updated it in past more than 5 years. YouTube stuff is more recent. So I would suggest you to listen to those YouTube videos and subscribe to the channel as well, if you can. And the motto of our brand, our website, our YouTube channel has always been never give up, never lose hope. That takes me back to you guys for questions. I'll start with this quote. There is no such thing as a stupid question. A question is a search for knowledge, and the search for knowledge is never stupid. So I would request you guys कि आप अपने videos on कर लीजिए, please. I would prefer कि अगर आपने question पूछना है तो आप video on करके मुझसे question पूछिए. I'll start with Bilal and then Temur, और उसके बाद अगर आप में से कोई भी बंदा सवाल पूछना चाहता है तो I will say at the bottom there is an option for reactions and you can raise your virtual hand. So please raise your virtual hand when you have a question, and when I call your name, I'll be happy to answer your question. जी बिलाल, आपका कोई question है?
I was wondering, in your introduction, you mentioned that you have experience in MBA as well. Why was that something that you felt was sort of an important part of, strengthening your experience in especially considering our field of work? That's not something people usually consider as an option when it comes to, sort of strengthening their position in their career. So why do you think that was something that's important in your career where you stand right now?
गुड क्वेश्चन। देखो, मैंने रेजिडेंसी फेलोशिप की बात किया, ठीक है। देर आर सर्टन थिंग्स इन अमेरिका दैट यू एन एमबीए कैन रियली हेल्प, और उस पर भी अगेन आई हैव अ वीडियो, एमबीए फॉर फिजिशियंस, व्हाई इज इट इम्पोर्टेंट, व्हाई इट मैटर्स। तो वो सुन लेना। बेसिकली एमबीए जो डॉक्टर्स यहाँ पे करते हैं, they do that to become an executive physician, to go into the healthcare administration. Like अगर मैंने एक हॉस्पिटल का वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बनना है, सीईओ बनना है, लीडरशिप पोजीशन में जाना है, तो उसमें एन एमबीए कैन हेल्प यू। सो इसी तरह आई ऑल्सो वर्क इन लिटिल बिट ऑन हेल्थकेयर इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स। देयर इज एन डिग्री ऑफ एमएचआई दैट आई कंसिडर्ड मास्टर्स इन हेल्थकेयर इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स। वन थिंग दैट वी डोंट कंसिडर कि हम लोग सिर्फ डॉक्टर हैं, पाकिस्तान में तो हम सिर्फ डॉक्टर होते हैं, लेकिन अमेरिका में there are lots of hybrid positions, hybrid jobs that you can do. You can become a डॉक्टर इंजीनियर। तो देर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु आर एमडी पीएचडीज, उन्होंने पीएचडी लेट्स से सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग की हुई है। जो मैंने स्टैनफोर्ड में काम किया था, माय मेंटोर वाज एन इंजीनियर, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग की पीएचडी थी उसके पास, एंड ही वाज ए एमडी। तो वो डॉक्टर इंजीनियर्स हैं। इसी तरह जो एमडी एमबीए हैं, दोज आर पीपल लाइक अस, वी आर द लीडर्स। हम लोग डायरेक्टर्स बनते हैं, सीईओज बनते हैं, हॉस्पिटल्स की और डिपार्टमेंट्स की लीडरशिप पोजीशन बनने के लिए आपको एमबीए रियली हेल्प करता है। इस तरह देर आर एमडी जेडी, एमडी जेडी का जेडी इज लाइक एलएलबी, राइट? तो उन्होंने एमडी एलएलबी किया हुआ है। दोज आर द वंस हु मेक पॉलिसीज। सो अमेरिका में जो हाइब्रिड है कि आप दो स्पेशलिटीज में है, उसका फायदा ये होता है, यू एक्ट एज अ ब्रिज। So for me, as an MD MBA, I can act as a bridge between MBAs of the hospital who are running the hospital, making policies, and the doctors. And I can talk to both of them and tell them both, क्योंकि मुझे दोनों की बातें समझ आती हैं। मुझे पता है एमबीए वाले कैसे सोच रहे हैं, उनका फोकस सारा नंबर्स और प्रॉफिट्स की तरफ है, और दूसरी तरफ डॉक्टर्स कैसे सोच रहे हैं, उनका सारा फोकस पेशेंट की तरफ है। तो यू एक्ट एज अ ब्रिज। That's why people like us who have two different degrees from varying specialties, they can be very highly sought after, actually. Did that answer your question, Bilal?
Yes, that was perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you have any follow-up question?
No, I think that was perfect. I was
Okay.
just one thing. I was wondering, are
जी.
there any other sort of unconventional, not unconventional, but sort of not as usual sort of things that people do to strengthen their application? For example, you mentioned the basics. We've gone through the basics. Are there any other
Mhm.
unconventional or other, techniques to improve your application from perspectives that usually people don't consider?
हाँ, उसमें यही है कि a lot of people do research. Research is a big one, but
Mhm.
some people do MPH. I don't think MPH Masters in Public Health is as useful as doing a long-term research. और दूसरा MPH में you're paying a university to give you a degree, whereas research में you can get paid or you can do it for free. So I don't recommend MPH as compared to long-term research. I think long-term research is better. And then if you're talking strengthening the CV, कुछ लोग medical assistant की job करते हैं. Basically, you're working as my assistant. You're taking history, physical examination कर रहे हो. You're presenting cases to me, and then you're getting paid. There are people who do medical scribe. Okay, I'm dictating H&P, and then people are typing it in. So these are some of the jobs that people do. Your aim should be, मतलब medical assistant का ठीक है काम, लेकिन your aim should be कि आप research और एक्सटर्नशिप की तरफ फोकस करो। मेडिकल असिस्टेंट भी ठीक है कि यू आर गेटिंग पेड, एंड देन देयर इज teaching opportunities. There are students who work with me. They work at these academies जहाँ पे USMLE की teaching हो रही है. So that is also something that can be done to make your CV look nice. इसके अलावा एक्स्ट्रा चीजें बहुत लोग कर सकते हैं. Like I said, people have done an MBA, people have done MPH. They do degrees to make their CV look better.
Right. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. That's a big help. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, Philo?
No, none from me. Thank
No.
you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll request everyone, अगर आपके questions हैं, तो please write down your questions and raise your virtual hand, and then I'll answer the question. तैमूर, आपका कोई सवाल है? जी बोलिए तैमूर.
जी अच्छा, तो आपने अपने सेशन के अंदर इलेक्टिव्स की इम्पोर्टेंस के ऊपर आपने काफी स्ट्रेस किया है. So one of my questions is that obviously electives, they have a certain cost. जाना, एप्लीकेशन करना, और फिर वहाँ जो भी आपकी परफॉर्मेंसेस होती हैं उसके अगेन. So what would you advise? Would there be an alternative to a person who couldn't afford the cost of doing electives?
There is. आप research कर लो. Research start with volunteer research and then long term research. जब मैंने research की थी, so initially, I was paid from day one because I had a research experience. But my brother, he had to work as a volunteer for 4 to 8 weeks, and after that, he started getting paid. और जब आप पेड होते हो आपको $2,000 से $3,000 मिल रहा है, which is enough for you to live on your own and even send some money back home depending on where you live. तो दैट इज वन ऑप्शन. दूसरा यार मैं एक चीज बड़ा क्लैरिफाई कर दूं आप सबको जितने भी आप लोग यहाँ पर हो कि जो यूएसएमएलई का सारा पाथवे है इस पे ट्विटर पे हमने किया था, एक टॉक की थी, फरहान अहमद के हैंडल पर है, ही इज अ फ्रेंड, और उसमें हमने वी टॉक्ड अबाउट फाइनेंसेस ऑफ यूएसएमएलई कि जो यूएसएमएलई का सारा प्रोसेस है, अगर आप बहुत ध्यान ध्यान से पैसे बचा के करो शायद आपके $8-9 हज़ार, और अगर आप एक एवरेज देखो तो वो $12,000 से $20,000 लगता है. So that is something that you should look into. If you're planning on pursuing this path, so you need to have those resources. चाहे आप लोन लो किसी relative से, किसी alumni से, you reach out to people, but you need to plan accordingly. बहुत लोग हैं जो jobs करते हैं. I did that myself. I started making websites. I made a lot of websites. I used to charge $500 for a website, and at the end, I had enough money that I could pay for all my applications and electives myself. So you can do that. Again, I have a video on that as well. How to, as a doctor, how to monetize your skills. There are people who do translating jobs, who do speaking jobs, video editing on Upworks, freelancing work. बहुत ज़्यादा है. Upwork है और एक और Fire है, FIVERR. So there is this video on my channel on how to make money when you're to survive on an unpaid job in US. So, but you can use these resources, even your website MLDD or your YouTube channel. I remember even as a medical student in Pakistan, I used to get anywhere between 10 to 15,000 rupees at that time, जो कि उस वक्त हाउस जॉब भी इनकी तनख्वाह होती थी, from just the website and YouTube channel. So you can not just a website, YouTube channel नहीं था. तो मतलब there are resources. You need to learn to monetize your skills. पैसे इकट्ठे करो, family से reach out करो, alumni से करो, और लोगों से करो. But make sure you have that money saved. और parents से बात कर लो कि that is something I'll be needing in 5 years, and I'll return it 5 times, 10 times more once you become an attending. $10,000 to $20,000 might be your 1 week salary. Any other question, Bilal? Or sorry, Timur? Ji boliye.
Just one more question. Another element that you stressed upon was research. Is there any certain sort of category of research that is preferred, or कि आपने सिर्फ यूनिवर्सिटी के थ्रू की आपने रिसर्च करनी है, और could you do it through private means? आपके कोई रिश्तेदार या जानने वाला है वो डॉक्टर हैं, आप उनके साथ एक रिसर्च कर लें.
You can.
So is there some sort of definition to what research is?
You can. Uspe again, I have 2 detailed videos. How to apply for research in US, and उसमें एक मेरी है और एक मेरी student थी फातिमा, उसने detailed video बनाई कि why it is important and how to do that. तो अगर आपकी कोई, if you have a family member who's doing research in US, you can totally work with them. Other than that, what I typically recommend is you Google search top US universities, top medical universities in US. Or the reason I recommend you to go for one of the top ones is because उनके पास funding होती है, उनके पास पैसे होते हैं, your likelihood to get money is higher to get a paid position. तो फिर जो पहली 10-20 universities आ रही हैं, उनमें you apply for your specialty of interest. If you want to become a cardiologist, apply for cardiology research in top 10 to 20 special medical schools in US for research with CV. ठीक है? बाकी detailed guidance, like I said, you can listen to the videos. Any other questions?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll take a minute to see if anybody has any other questions. If they do, please raise your virtual hand and we'll answer them. Bilal, I know you're recording this. Do me a favor. I'll send you my email address. What are you planning? What are you going to do with the recording? Are you going to upload it somewhere? Yeah.
No, I was just doing it in case you needed it, so I thought that would probably be the right
चलो
thing
सही
to
है,
do.
ठीक है, हाँ सही है.
I'll reach
मुझे
out to
भेज
you
देना.
and I can send that to you. बिल्कुल सही है क्या?
Google Drive पे अपलोड कर देना, या can be. Did you get my email address?
Yeah, I did. Perfect.
Okay, good. Yeah, email it to me, the recording, और upload करके शायद Google Drive या Dropbox पे हो.
Perfect. Yeah.
So let's see. Anybody has any other questions? Nope. Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you very much. It was an honor. I hope कि आप सबने कुछ सीखा यहाँ पे. Good luck, everyone. Like we always say, never give up, never lose hope. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.